The first half of the Northwoods League season in 2026 is officially over, halfway done, and the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders are looking to turn things around. Nathan Ketelhut joined alongside Anthony Saccuman for episode number 4 of Dispatches from the Dock, presented by Computer Troubleshooters. The Dock Spiders started this 4-game road trip against the Kalamazoo Growlers, and they had a 2-game homestand, so a little home and home series against them. They split here in Fond du Lac, and they split there in Kalamazoo. But I think this is a series that the Dock Spiders should have seen a sweep when they're on the road. Usually it's not your goal, but after that first game, you come away with 10 hits and score no runs, while the Growlers win that game 1-0 off just 3 hits. It's been the story for the Dock Spiders all year. Anthony, your thoughts from that first game against the Growlers?
Yeah, they're 1-4 now in games in which the Dock Spiders hold their opponent to less than 3 hits, and that's just kind of a crazy statistic, to put it bluntly. That's a game where, your offense does well, but their lack of situational hitting shines through once again, and it leads to a shutout that just shouldn't have happened. The way they pitched in that game and the way their bats hit without runners on base, they should have won that game 9 out of 10 times, probably even more than that. And it's just how it goes sometimes with this team. They're not hitting situationally. They're not playing small ball, and it comes back to bite them a lot.
Yeah, Cole Lockwood, Miles Van Hoovel, and Brady Blake, all 3 in the top of the lineup for that game, all with multiple hits in that game, but still no runs could cross home for the Dock Spiders. They dropped that 1-0, but they bounced back in game 2 in a huge way. An 8-run top of the 8th inning really sealed that game for the Dock Spiders. They win that one 13-4. An incredible job from this offensive effort for the Dock Spiders. And then really, what from that game do you think, Anthony, needs to be taken going forward and in series ahead?
They hit with runners on base. They succeeded massively with runners on base. And as I just mentioned in the last game, that's not something they were able to do previously, and it's really what's hurt them the entire season. If they're able to get that big hit, that clutch hit, bring a couple guys home more than once in a game, they're gonna be looking pretty, because again, this pitching staff is really, really good, and they're just kind of wasting starts right now. So it worked out in that game, and hopefully they can kind of put some of those games under their belt and continue to work like that.
Our Parker Porrill got the chance to sit down and talk with Carson Willen post-game after the win against the Growlers.
Dock Spiders take down the Growlers 13-4 on the road, and they're with the player of the game, Carson Willis. First game behind home plate. It's always tough to adjust, especially as a catcher, but what's the emotions? How you feel first game back on the saddle?
And I felt great. It felt really good to get back out there. I haven't played an organized game of baseball behind the dish in over 2 years. Been out with 2 labrum surgeries, and I'm just thankful to God that I was able to get back there and show a little bit what I can do and help the team win.
Now, first as a Dock Spider came in a big way, RBI, ground rule, double. What were you seeing at the plate that led to you having such a great night?
I'm just trying to see the ball a long way, get a good pitch to hit, and I think with runners in scoring position, just doing my job and getting the guy in, just looking for something that I can drive right back to the middle.
And with yesterday being such a frustrating day team-wise when it came to putting up runs, hanging a 13 bomb on the Growlers, a team that shut you out yesterday, has to feel good both for yourself and as a team, right?
Oh, it felt great. I think yesterday we had a lot of good at-bats, a lot of good swings. We out-hit them, I think 11 to 3 hits, and I think our approaches were good, just didn't get the timely hit, but we certainly played some really, really gritty baseball today, grinding out at bats. 8 pitch at bats, 7 pitch at bats, just getting the walks. It was really, really great to see the team do that.
Here with Carson Willis, catcher for the Dock Spiders. For those that don't know, you're a player that was kind of last minute thrown on this Dock Spiders team, but here you are with this team gelling very quickly. How's these first couple days as a Dock Spider really treated you?
I'll tell you what, the first 30 seconds of me getting here in Fondy, it was crazy. I drove 6 hours, and I pull up, and everybody is just so friendly, so kind. I got a fishing trip lined up the very first day. It's an awesome team. It's an awesome bond. We're all rooting for each other, and I think that we can do something really special and turn this thing around.
And when it comes to turning this thing around, a pair of road games going up against Green Bay, with a win here today, how can you help this momentum that started here today lead into these next couple games against the Rockets?
Yeah, exactly like you said. This is huge momentum for us. We just saw a great game of baseball, sac flies, putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. I mean, this is great. I mean, the momentum and the confidence as me as a catcher having behind the pitchers that I just got for the very first time, just seeing how they can really compete on the mound and want to get out of it for the team. I mean, throwing ground balls after getting into jams, runners on first and second, ground ball back to the pitcher, turning double plays. I mean, that just gives me so much confidence in this team, and I know the players feel the same way.
Thank you, Carson. Dock Spiders take down the Growlers 13-4 on the road. I'll let us get to the drone show now.
Thank you, Parker, once again for getting us that inside scoop as Dock Spiders then went on to take on the Green Bay Rockers on the road to finish off their 4-game series, and both games pretty forgettable ones for the Dock Spiders offense and team kind of as a whole. Game 1 went completely in the Rockers' favor, 9-3, but it was really 7 combined runs in those final 4 innings for that Rockers offense that really set them apart, but still some Dock Spider highlights to mention. Miles Vandenheuvel came up with a home run, and Jaden Rose with his first of the season. Anthony, your thoughts from that game of pitching saw some struggles when that's kind of been the specialty, and the offense continues to struggle.
Yeah, this one kind of sticks out as an anomaly, right? I don't think this team is going to be giving up 9 runs very often. It kind of just seemed like Zach White ran out of gas there in that 5th inning, giving up 4 runs, and that's going to happen sometimes. You can be the best pitching team in the league, and in the Northwoods League in professional baseball. It doesn't matter. You're going to have days where your pitching doesn't get it done, and that's okay. It's a matter of making that a rarity, and they do. So the offense was a little bit better, right? Nice to see a couple of big flies and things like that. So there were some positive signs, and again, this one kind of just sticks out as an anomaly more than anything. I don't think anybody should be expecting games like this very often from the Dock Spiders.
Yeah, and then it kind of rolled into being that second game against the Rockers, and that was a 6-0 affair where the offense really just never got going. At 0 for 13, first 4 batters in the lineup for Fond du Lac. That's never going to be a winning formula for your baseball team. They dropped that game 6-0. They moved to 7-14 on the season. Right now, that's currently the worst in the entire Northwoods League. Anthony, what needs to change for this team? I know we've talked about it a little bit, but what needs to change right now, because first half champions may be out of the picture unless you get insanely hot. How do you turn around for the second half and going forward?
Yeah, it kind of felt like after that last game in Kalamazoo, you kind of found something, you found some momentum, and it just kind of all went out the window. And you look at it, I mentioned it earlier, situational hitting is the biggest thing. It's a matter of, they get guys on base. They take a lot of walks, they take a lot of hit by pitches, and they just don't seem to get that big hit when it matters. So it's worked in a couple games. You saw it again in that last Kalamazoo game where they were able to hit with runners in scoring position. And that's the biggest thing. If this team's going to get hot, again, you mentioned the first half's probably out of the picture, you need to hit with runners on base. It's the biggest thing.
And a guy who's been a major difference maker with the bat has been Cole Lockwood. Our Parker Porrill got a chance to sit down and talk to him. We'll send it over to that before talking about the future of this Fond du Lac team fully.
Here pregame in Kalamazoo with Dock Spiders second baseman Cole Lockwood. Cole, honored with the Northwoods League Player of the Night recently. When you had that night, how are you feeling at the plate, and what does it mean to be honored with Northwoods League Player of the Night?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor. I mean, there's so many good ball players in this league, so to be able to get that accomplishment, it's a real accomplishment, and you really just got to be proud of yourself. Yeah, the ball is. I was just trying to get in there and get team at-bats going, just get on base, try to get things rolling. Trying to just play as free as possible with, the losing streak that we were on. So I was just trying to get on base, play team baseball, and everything else worked itself out.
And speaking of, it has to be relieving because the offense during that losing streak had its up and down flashes.
Mm-hmm.
People having multiple hit performance like that, it must felt really good moving forward.
Yeah, it did feel really good. It definitely helps my confidence moving forward, and I'm hoping that just one at bat can turn to another one, and then we can just strengthen things together and maybe go on a winning streak here and start something off.
And when it comes to your defensive prowess, what skill sets make you separates you from other players that when it comes to playing second base?
I'd say my twitchiness probably would be my best trait, of just being able to get to some balls that others can, and just having a lot of range and kind of just trusting my training and my hands that I put into my whole life, and just going out there playing free and just going attacking baseball.
And when you've been with the Dock Spiders a couple weeks now, and you've mainly played that second base slot, why is second base your role for this team?
Well, I always played shortstop in high school, and then when I went to school, I kind of transitioned into second baseman. I feel like it's just a better fit with like my size and my overall physical traits. So I think having that pass at shortstop made it a very easy transition to second. Just having to learn the game up the middle and like have everything almost slow down at second because I got more time and can just move more freely and not have to worry about the throw as much as just fielding the baseball.
And when it comes to your time, you mentioned Valpo earlier, your time in school. Can you tell fans what your college journey has been like? You're at Valpo right now, staying at Valpo.
Yeah.
What's your plans for the future?
So it's been a lot of ups and downs just like through injuries. So I'm going back to Valpo. I love it there. It's a great place. So in the middle of the fall, I broke the top part of my pinky, and then ended up rehabbing, coming back, and then was starting playing second base. And then as soon as conference play started, I was sliding into second and broke the bottom part of my same pinky. So then rehabbed, came back. I got cleared probably a week before I got here, so it was a quick turnaround. So it just the main part is just trying to get back comfortable playing and kind of getting the injury out of the back of my mind.
Man, that one pinky, it must
Yeah.
wish you could tape it up. That's your throwing hand, right?
Yeah, it's throwing hand. Yep.
All right, and when it comes to your skill sets as well, speed is a major part of both your defensive capability. You mentioned the twitchiness, but also on the base path as well. How big is speed when it comes to you playing baseball?
I would say it's my best weapon. Being undersized, like I know I'm not going to hit the ball out of the park. Like maybe here or there if I get the head out and something like that. But I think just being able to rely on my speed gives me a couple extra hits every year. Just, if I miss-hit a ball, I always have a chance to beat it out at first. And I know if I don't hit as many extra base hits, I can always just turn a single into a double if I steal second. So I think it helps the team a lot too. I think speed's a very big factor into winning baseball games. So I think if you have a quick team, you can get away with some stuff. And even if you're playing good brand of baseball, it helps just the team elevate to that next level, I think.
You mentioned the team a lot. Well, let's get to this Doc Spiders team. How's this summer been gelling with the guys? And I know there was a losing streak in there, but coming with a win into today's game, how are the emotions with this team?
I know it's pretty easy to get down when you're on a skid like that, but I think we did a pretty good job as a team, like staying up, staying positive, like picking each other up and all that. And I think it was just a matter of time till we snapped out of it. Like we're a good ball club, and I know like the record might not show it, but we will go out there and win games. And I know that it might not look like that right now, but I guarantee you this team will turn around and people will be like, they'll look at the schedule like, we got the Doc Spiders coming up.
After a 4-game road trip, it's time for a 4-game homestand for the Fond du Lac Doc Spiders. 2 straight against the Rockers to continue that home and home. Then an outlier game against the Chinooks Wednesday. Thursday against Wausau, the beginning of a 6-game series against the Woodchucks, the first 6 games against that Great Lakes West rival. But we'll start with the 2 games against the Rockers, a team that sits 7 games below 500. We've talked about what they need to fix, what needs to change, what about everything. What are things they've done well so far that they should continue to implement in those 2 games against the Rockers?
It's the pitching, right? And they rank very high in a bunch of stats in the Northwoods League when it comes to pitching, strikeouts, ERA, all that good stuff. So if they can keep pitching, if they can keep holding teams to low hit games, low run games, keep them 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 runs, things like that, they will start winning these games. The fact that they've scored 0 so many times, it's just not going to happen very often. I think they've gotten, even Coach Vonder said, they've gotten kind of unlucky with some of the things that have happened to them. So if you can keep pitching the way they have, keep throwing strikes, keep making teams put the ball in play, and play good defense, they will start winning those games. It just has to happen. It has to start. The scale has to tip their way eventually.
Yeah, and talking about the kind of things tipping their way, now you get to stay at home, and really, for nearly the rest of the month of June, you're not leaving the state of Wisconsin. The 30th, the only outlier when you go back to Michigan to take on Battle Creek. How much does this traveling schedule that once was the last couple of days a little bit brutal now favor them going down the rest of the first half?
Yeah, you can kind of relax and settle in. I feel like for their first couple weeks of the year, they had the doubleheader, they had the Timber Rattlers game in Appleton. So between that and the travel to Michigan for Kalamazoo, it was kind of all over the place. And I think they can now kind of settle in and really just enjoy their time at home, get familiar with their stadium and this new turf. That's a whole new thing, right? Most of those players aren't used to playing on this playing surface. So now they can get a little bit more comfortable, settle in, get some more rest. I think you'll see the bats start to wake up a little bit, and the pitching hopefully stays, the same.
What should fans expect from this team during the next week, rest of the first half, to see this team either improve, or what changes, what remains the same with this team?
The pitching looks great. I don't think the pitching changes very much. I don't think that changes at all. I think they just keep doing what they're doing. This team's built off pitching. Coach Fonder's built off pitching. That's how it works. That's how it's going to stay. Again, I think the bats pick up just a little bit more. I think you start seeing some more situational hitting. That's something that gets taught. That's something that gets coached. And overall, I think you'll just see this team start to pick it up more with the bats and make for some exciting baseball games.
Definitely something that Doc Spider fans and players and the community alike would love to see, is things trending in the upwards direction. That'll do it for us for episode number 4 of Dispatches from the Docs, presented by Computer Troubleshooters. For Anthony Saccuman and Parker Porrill, I'm Nathan Ketelhut, saying so long from episode number 4.